I'm up early, I'm doing a tip run with my mum. The weather's not great. It's like Silent Hill again. It's absolutely awful, but I need to utilise mum when I've got her. So I'm doing a tip run. But I've been sat here thinking, for all my life, I have been that person that wants to have everything perfect and ready and be well prepared and have lots of different avenues, lots of different choices dependent on circumstances. I plan for everything, right? And I try to be as complete in each of those avenues and possibilities as I could possibly be, right? And I've always been like that, and I'm never satisfied with where I'm at currently, because I can always do better and I can always get better. There is nothing wrong with striving for, I'm not going to say perfection, but I'm going to say completedness, right? There's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with striving for completedness. Completedness to me means that something is functional and it makes me feel good. It does the logic part as well as the emotional part, right? So, for example, I need a water source. I'm going into survival here, but I need a water source. Where do I get water from? From the tap. What happens if I don't get it from the tap? Then I need to have stored water. So I've got stored water inside, but what happens if I run out of stored water inside or something happens to it? I need some outside. What happens if something happens to those? I need places that store water separate to those places that store water. I need places that is going to catch my water. Well, I've already got gutters, so I need to plumb those into my barrels. But what happens if those gutters break? Then I need gutters, other places to collect water and make sure that there's water source. That's how I look at things, right? Then we go into the whole, I need clean water, the clean bit, you know, like if I've got 2 standing ponds full of standing water, that's water, but it's not safe. So I need to make sure I've got a way to make it safe. Well, I've got a distiller. What happens if my distiller breaks or I run out of electric and there is no electric? Well, I need a gravity filter. What if I don't have a gravity filter? I need to make sure I've got water purifying tablets. What if I'm on the go and I need to go quick? I need water straws because I might not be able to take the water with me. Like, I am that person that wants to have all these things, right? And just make sure I've got all these avenues. That logically makes sense to me because I've got multiple outlets. I'm not just solely relying on one thing and then putting all my eggs in one basket. Don't ever do that. But not only that, I feel better having all these things. Yeah, because these are safety nets. I've got... If you can look at your odds and guarantee that you're going one particular way and that's the only way you're going to go, and you put a safety net there and something happens that you didn't account for and you've not got a safety net anywhere else, you're fucked. You are fucked. So, you know, I don't like being in that position of being fucked. In that respect, at least. So I budget every penny. I save everything. I try and get things for free, secondhand. I try and make do. I try and repurpose. I try and make things more efficient and that type of thing. I'm really intentional about everything that I do. The problem is, there is no way you could possibly be fully ready for everything. There's no possible way. So you also have to get good at being able to act in the moment spontaneously. So it's not all about preparation. That's great, but it gets you so far, and it's good to do that. But you also need to have the skills to be able to get what you need when you don't have it and you need it fast. And you need to know what you've been looking for, where you're going to get it, how you're going to deal with it. I might not have water purifying tablets. I might not have water straws. I might not have a distiller. How am I going to clean my water? How am I going to make a fire? You still need to have caveman skills, right? And even then, you're not going to know everything. So I am that person, I can prepare and prepare and prepare and be in real good stead for every eventuality, right? But anything could happen. And you have to be content with the fact that every day you won't have enough of what you think you need or what you feel you need, but you have to be content with the fact that what you've got is what you've got. You could have a whole lot less, and you managed just fine when you had less. Yeah, because at some point you didn't even have all this stuff. Do you know what I mean? And we can still manage, you know. It's dead easy to get lost in your head and start panicking, thinking you've not got enough and you've not prepared enough. There is nothing wrong with striving for being more prepared, but you still have to balance that out by saying, this is what I've got, right? At every moment, you keep preparing simultaneously. At the same time, you need to be saying, this is where I'm at, this is what I've got. So if something happens, this is where I'm at, this is what I've got to use what I've got. I will learn on the go. You know, I'm going to have to. If I intend on surviving, then I will learn on the go. And I've always had the mentality of, people think, I parallel it to the game, it's called Game of Life. It's a board game. People play life as if it's a game. And my view is, my life's not a game. I intend on surviving. In games, you have wins and losses. I don't intend to lose, ever, when it comes to my life. And so I don't look at losses. I don't consider anything a loss. I consider it as learning till I get what I need to get, till I win. Yeah. If I wake up and I'm alive one more day and I've got my house and I've got my roof and I've got my job and I've got my health and I've got everything I need, I'm winning. You know, the only time I lose is when I've popped my clogs. That's when it's done. Yeah. That's the only real loss that I'm willing to accept. You know? So I never worry about losing, because there's nothing to lose till I'm not here anymore. You know what I mean? And I intend on being here every single day for as long as possible, you know, and doing what I need to do to support myself and support the rest of the people that I care about. Why am I rambling? Because I've just sat here for about 3 hours looking at my prep list of all these things that I potentially still need to sort and fix and get. Not just for me, for others. I am fortunate enough that I don't have a lot of financial burden in respect of children, cars, that type of thing. I can spread my money a little bit and put it in different things and help other people. So I've been sat here for about 3 hours. And I got to the point where I'm like, looking at this mountain. It's not even a mound, it's a mountain in front of me of all the things and how long it's going to take. And at that moment, I'm like, I'm nowhere close. I haven't even started. I have. I've been doing this for 10 plus years. I have started. Like, all these things I'm thinking of, I wasn't even aware of 10 years ago that I needed to be doing. You know, this is me becoming aware of things or making things up and deciding that I need it. You know, and I've had to just take a step back and just grab reality for a second and ground myself and look around and go, I've just done all this. I've already done all this. You know, I did all this in 7 years. I did all this in 10 years. I did all this in 4 years. You know? And I've managed to do that in some of the worst conditions possible. In some of the worst circumstances. Like, get a grip, Stevie. Like, autistic Steve wants perfect. And that's where I am going to use the word perfect. Autistic Steve wants perfect. Yeah? And ADHD Steve is like, well, just fucking chill out. We'll sort it as we go along. It's not that bad. You know? We're pretty resourceful. We can do whatever we want when the time comes. Don't forget that. Give me the steering wheel when the time comes if we have to. You know? Autistic Steve takes the rein a lot because she's logical and that makes more sense. And I'm the person, I don't care what I feel about it. Even if I fucking hate it, I'm still going to do it. Yeah? Because it needs to be done. Because the rewards that you reap from it is much bigger and substantial than if I was to just do what I felt in the moment. Do you know what I mean? If I let ADHD Steve run loose, I'd probably have toys everywhere and fake flowers and an ass full of animals. And I'd be wearing ball gowns every day. So, you know, that's not ideal. It's not. If you're planning on not living long, that's great. But I'm planning on living long. So, logic first. ADHD Steve comes out when we need to think on the spot. Just rationalise, yeah? Don't panic. Mum messaged me last night because I were ranting to her. And she's messaged me back going, do not panic. Can't help it. Right. Everyone's losing the shit. No one's got the steering wheel anymore. No autistic Steve or ADHD Steve. Where they all gone? No, just stop panicking. Stop panicking. You'll figure it out. Trust your ability. You are your own survival kit. Yeah, you've got everything you need within you. Just keep your fucking head on and think. Yeah. Be vigilant and think. Be clever. See you in a bit.